Hello, hello, and welcome back to Sunless Sea. When we left off, we had moved on from the tomb colonies, and we're now here in Dumo Island. Dumo, is that what chat said? Dumo? Hang on. Where was it? Something like Dumo Island. I think that's how they said it was pronounced. It's French. Uh, a a fevered forest of fungus. Uh, Iron and Misery Company Fungaling. I&M has a funger operation here. Funger. Filling giant bulgus mushrooms. I can read! For building materials. Harvesting Carolee for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something, of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable factor. What's an affable factor? Chat, fill me in on that one. Oh, hello, Captain. Good for visitors. We'd go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? We can have tea with him. We can explore the island. We can accept some volunteers. It'll cost us, one echo. Yeah, this is a cheap place to recruit people, I remember. All of the Alexis Kennedy games use very obscure and archaic English. Yeah, it makes sense, because, like, for the Fallen London world, because it's set in the 18th century, you know. It's very interesting. Yeah. We can compile a port report, we can gather supplies. It's a matter of luck, 60% chance of success. Nice. Now, let's start off with some... Do we want to explore or have tea? Or get a volunteer? We can only do one. Well, I was wondering about Factor. Let's have tea with the Factor. The poor fellow needs the company, and he can spare an hour away from his schedule. Same root as affectionate. Oh, that makes sense. Affable. Like, affectionable, affable, that makes sense. A factor is a person who runs a factory. Oh, again, makes total fucking sense. An interlude. You sit on the veranda of the factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle. An expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The scones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares old stories about the ice and rose of Irim, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, and a little restaurant in Vanderbilt where he enjoys the most extraordinary seafood. Vanderbilt, I know. I'd never met a tomb colonist who could cook, but you must visit the place. Do you know it? He also loads your ships with Boligus Frond, carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks. I've eaten so much of this stuff, I fear that I might transform entirely into fungus. He leans confidently towards you. It happens, you know. But one does have to eat rather a lot of it first. We've lost some terror, used up our daily visit, gained a single fragment, and some supplies, and you've been told of the exceptionally fine restaurant in Vanderbilt. Neat. Alright, let's compile a port report. The Admiralty likes to keep an eye on the Iron and Misery activities. Of course, I&M activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, you record what you can. Business of spores. And... I'll roll the dice on one supply gather. A fung of dread. The spores lie thick on your face. They coat your tongue. One crewman begins to whimper. Oh Christ, he says. They've reached my heart. I think I'll be harvested yet. Harvest yet. You have to drag him back to your ship before he's calm again. We gain some terror. Alright, we're wary. Let's go on. Alright, so... I think we're gonna start cutting straight ahead towards Iron and Misery unless we catch something with our, Z-Bat. So a fun thing in the sequel that I found out is that in the sequel, let's fight. In the sequel, you can or it costs food to send out your Z-Bat, which makes a lot of sense. We're not playing the sequel because it's a totally different monster than this game. Discover the pirate steam pinnacle, the pinnacle of the Mouse Gate. Oh. The pirates... Okay, oh, just pirates in this area, that's what it's saying. I thought it was saying pirates that, like, had something to do with these guys. So what you want to do with a boat fight is get behind them and keep them in your light. Because they can't fire backwards. Shit. Okay, hang on. Turn. There we go. We got out of their range. Pirates are very easy to fight. And they always pay a pretty good reward when you take them down. There we go. All clear. Loot and scuttle her. The ship is yours. What do you do? Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and these aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Lean pickings. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but they see here's something in the back of her hold. Crates. A stout crate. Crates. The source of sustenance. The fundamental element of cargo. A crate of supplies. Oh, look at that. That's a good payout. Heart attack and water and an unexpected box of nails. A would-be wit remarks that the nails look tastier than the heart attack until an officer glares her silence. Alright. Let's, what do we got? How much space do we have in our hold? Plenty of space, okay. We want to sort of turn off this way. Let's click off our light because we're near a buoy. Let's click it back on. I can see some bats ahead. I think I want to try and shoot them down if I can. Okay, I think we're not going to alert them. Some sort of beetle has invaded your morsel of ship's biscuits. It wriggles its antenna impertinently. Fed the crew. Dust echoes. Even a sepia tint to the air. There are waters around the tomb colonies. Or these are the waters around the tomb colonies. Alright. Let's settle in here with the girls. Still early enough that we'll just keep pressing on. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist, like hundreds of the galaxy. Yep. Last time we had lunch with Cynthia. Let's have lunch with the middle sister. Lucy, the middle sister, is sunny, restless, and prone to giggles. A daft tale. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidently a complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in the attic and the butler in the vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window pane. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're cheerful as you've been in months. Hold status is visible in the upper right. Or hull status. Or upper left. Sorry, I misread that. Hull status visible in the upper left. It's a semicircle below the throttle. Oh yeah, I'm aware of that. It fills with gray as it gets damaged. Yeah. But we got fine enough hull that I'm not too worried. Yeah, we got some supplies. We've gotten a memory of distant shores. Oh, it remains unchanged, so she doesn't give us a different kind of story. But we now have Stone's attention. So let's look at our journal real fast, because that's new. Gods of the Z, Stone. You now have the God of Stone's attention. It's very far away, but perhaps it's watching you. Alright. And, alright, let's move on. I was looking at cargo, not hold hand. Did I read that wrong? Oh, hold status. I thought you said hull status. Wait, Wait, where is hold status displayed? I misread that. Above the hull, hind point direct. Oh, I see. Oh, right here is my hold. I never realized that. I misread what you said, and I thought you were telling me where the hull is. Oh, that's very cool. I did not know that. Thank you, actually. That's actually good new info for me. All right, let us launch out, and let us continue home. Oh, the pirate went for me for a moment, but then he saw I was heading for home waters and didn't care. All right, let's flicker off our light, because we're close enough to home that there's nothing to fear. Oh, and look at that. We got a Tigerish cargo class cruiser. It's not a pirate, so let's leave it be. It's a fellow sailor, a cargo ship, a person shipping cargo around. All right, and we're actually gonna do something special before we dock in at home. We're gonna go ahead and sail down. I believe this is the River Thames, right? Full speed! Yeah, thread that needle. Sail recklessly. Oops, I did not mean to hit that button. Or that button. Let's click on our lights for a second. Because if we sail down here, we discover the Department of Menace Eradication, which is just down there. And slightly ahead is the Echo Bazaar. Which I don't know a lot about the Echo Bazaar, but I presume they have something to do with why the sea sunk. Very ominous location, as you can see. Let's sail back up now, because there's nothing else to see, but that was a good way to get a few more secrets tucked in our belt. Let's pop this out, because we're about to hit a dock again. Still only halfway through the episode. We're hitting a lot of docks this time around. Yeah, episodes are, like I've said, minimum 20 minutes, but can be longer if we're still sailing out or in the middle of a story. Yeah, that's something I knew that bit. You could visit it, but I never did a lot with it. So yeah, if you have any mainland lore for of the Echo Bazaar to share with me, I'll be very open to it. The lights of London welcome you home. This storylet only appears you've been out at sea for a while. Collect a message from the harbor master. All the clatter and song in the dockside. It soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? Ooh, there's a lot of new stuff here. What's this? Something has changed underneath, so I believe that's how you make things out in sea change. I think that's what that's saying. Like, I think certain plots only progress if you return to London, and that's what that is. Haven't actually played Fallen London much either. I tried it for a while because I was getting back into Sunless Sea, but I had such bad experience it convinced me to walk away from both games. Yeah, Sunless Sea can be a little... I mean, Sunless Sea I love. Fallen London can be a little samey when you play it. That's sort of what killed it on me. Someone wants to sign on. Nice. You'll find a story when you next make port. You received this from time at sea of sea travel. Okay. Precious time away from captain's duties. How will you spend it? So we have a free evening, and the Rose Market bustles on Roser's Wharf. Who will be there today? A market for collectors and eccentrics throngs the Rose Wharf. Okay. So we got a lot going on. Let's start with this. A little gift. A very fine evening to you, Captain. My what you might call mentor is very fond of adventurous Z captains, and he would like to offer you what you might call a dispensation on account of he is so fond of Z captains. I played it in the past, so I'll be able to kind of explain it in a moment. Behind the blind bruiser on the dock stands a dray pile high with fuel and supplies. So let's inquire further first. Who is this Patreon? Is there a catch? He runs a very fine and very liberal establishment just across the river, what is much patricianed by sailors, and by men of wit and vigor, and public house. Excuse me, asthma's hitting me a little bit. And there is no obligation to speak of. My patron would only hope that you might remember him kindly, and I suppose that if the opportunity should arise for you to return his kindness, then I do not imagine he would refuse your offer. So I believe he's a criminal offering me a big batch of starting supplies, and if I take it, he'll later on try and make me repay the favor by doing criminal actions. I believe that's the deal going on here. If I'm accurate, let me know. If I'm wrong, don't correct me. Considering I have, you know, Olive has a bit of a criminal past in and of themselves, we're going to accept. That's not really the point, though? What do you mean? Listen, I think I'm going to accept. You know, it's a very generous offer. Do make sure you have 15 points of space in your hold, which I believe I do. Yep. Or come back later. It would be embarrassing to have to leave it on the dock. We'll take it. This is one of those metagaming moments where the game gives you a choice without ever making it explicit. I mean, clearly it does. I'm allowed to tell them no. And I mean, that's part of how this game works. Like I said, it's a roguelike. It expects you to fail, learn, and use those lessons later on. The game doesn't tell you the consequence of your actions most of the time because it wants you to die and learn them. It's a very narrative-based roguelike. A courteous nod, sorry. Well, my patron hopes that you will find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call him on the Medusa's head. Should that day come, we'll make you very welcome, and give you any safe conduct that you might require. Good evening to you. He salutes and is gone. You've gained 10 fuel, 5 supplies, accept his proposal, which has made me more I'm now officially suspicious. With more mansels, meneses, meneses. I can read. Alright, what else do we got? We can talk to the person who wants to join us. Let's go ahead and do that, because they're at the docks waiting for us. Consider a specialist surgeon. If you agree to go the criminal story path, but if you agree to go the criminal story path, if you refuse, later, an unrelated merchant shows up and offers to do business with you, and that's the merchant path. So there's no narrative reason you can't do both. The game just won't make a second path available unless you refuse the first. Yeah, well, maybe because you've dealt with a criminal, there you have some shady dealings, and the merchant doesn't want to work with you. I'm gonna use that as, like, bullshitting an explanation. The real explanation is, this game's a roguelike. You're expected to play it several times to get different plot lines and different events to occur. You know, it's simple as that. That's the way I see it. Hang on. She's staying at a respectable, because like I said, the intention is you're going to play several times with several different captains, so the game is going to purposefully lock off certain paths in order to encourage that. You know? Something that I wish more games had the balls to do. I really think, like, for example, Skyrim or other Elder Scrolls games should make it so you can't become the head of every single guild with one character. Let us get locked out of storylines. Make us do second playthroughs in order to find all the storylines. Yeah, this game's an RPG with story trees and has roguelike mechanics. And I would say, I would call that a roguelike mechanic, or I guess it's not necessarily a roguelike mechanic. It's a story tree mechanic, like you said. It's a roleplay mechanic, it's an RPG mechanic, but it's a mechanic that fits very well into the roguelike genre, because now every single run you can build out different storylines as you go. You know. But at this point, I'm arguing pedantics of game language. A roguelike is a game where every single time you die, elements of the game shuffle, allowing the experience to be a little different every time, and there's an expectation of failure going on. A roguelike throws away everything you've done to start from the beginning every single time, while a roguelite, which has become much more popular, is a game where when you die, elements of your previous runs remain. So I would call this a roguelite game, because elements of what you do can stick around to future playthroughs, so it's a roguelite, not a roguelike. But a roguelite is a subset of roguelike. That's the way I understand it. FTL is a hardcore a roguelike with unlockable alternative paths. Which, you can argue that makes it a roguelite. Real roguelikes, you don't actually ever unlock anything. It's a roguelike. A roguelite requires things to remain consistent between deaths, other than newly unlocked starting builds, is what I say. I've had discussions with people about roguelikes where they try and argue things that are blatantly roguelikes, like FTL aren't, and I'm like, it's a roguelike. FTL's a roguelike. Yes, you unlock new ships. It's a roguelike. Anyway, her talent could be well employed on your vessel. So, oh, I didn't finish reading her thing. She's staying at a respectable... I go on a lot of tangents when I do things. Yeah, exactly. Because roguelite is a subclass of roguelike. It's kind of like how you can have a horror tag and you don't necessarily need all the subclasses of horror. You don't need a psychological plug or anything like that. Like, I think it would benefit from having a proper roguelite tag, but it's totally okay to tuck it into roguelike. Anyway, let's get back to trying to read the story so we can leave London at the, again. She is staying at a respectable boarding house near the docks and has made it known that she is available for work. I specialize in amputations. It's easy to acquire unwanted appendages at sea. Employ the clotterier. Her talent could be well employed in the vessel. Alright. She costs 30 echoes. Oh, very worthwhile. We need a surgeon. Welcome aboard. She comes with a bag full of knives and her own personal sharpening stone. Don't touch these. Don't let anyone else touch them. I can appoint her as a new officer. Let's do that now and have a little chat with her. So now we have a chief of surgeon. Oh my god! 6 iron, 6 hearts, and gives me the doctor aboard trait. That is fucking fantastic. Also, while we're here in London, let's walk around with our ferret on our shoulder. Let's speak with her. She works with 2 scalpels at a time, or with a scalpel and a tinned instrument. Pinning open the flesh she's working on. Her operations are brisk and yield very little blood. We can invite her to dine with us if we'd like. Have her increase our hearts. And we can try and hit her. Wow. There's no requirements to fuck her, it seems. Let's hold off for now. Invite her to dine. Does she wield a fork the way she wields a scourge of scalpel? You know what? I believe this will empty our hunger, so let's do it. I was wrong. It's okay, we got plenty of food anyway. Precise bite sizes. The cooked flesh arrives still in its shell. From the claw, 8 legs, body, and head, she renders a dozen neat bite-sized piles of shredded flesh. Sutured with mushroom or pinned together with a needle of chitin. Perhaps she has missed a calling as a chef. She denies it. My mother was the child of a surgeon in the first city. You might say that knife work runs in the family. There's a wicked, quirking smile at the corner of her mouth. Then there are the rumors about my father. She would deny any truth in those. Tinned is pronounced with a long I, tined. And the description implies some kind of fork. Okay, so... with a... Where was it? So, oh, well, I missed it now. So she has forks in her hand. Got it. Your quality... We are now learning learning about the Clottery. Our quality is now alerted to the rumors of the Clottery's parentage. I could ask about her father, but only if I had a strange catch. She becomes more talkative when she has something to cut. Perhaps you can get her to say more about her father. So we can give her something to dissect and she'll chat. Alright, Oh, we didn't grab the thing we needed to the north. I turned around and came home too soon. Because I need mutter salts. Where did it say I could get mutter salts? From Slivy to the north. What did they say they needed a story of? Oh no, I don't have that visible to me anymore, do I? Mutter salts to calm the tongue. I don't... I need a certain kind of story, I remember. Oh well. Let's visit the Roser's Wharf real fast. So, the Rose Market caters to collectors and eccentrics, anyone with exotic tastes, and the gumption to harass Z captains. According to the archaic rules of the market, you can only make one trade per visit. Choose wisely. People at the Rose Market will pay above the usual price for specific goods. So there's someone buying a watchful curio, a jovial constraint purchasing long boxes. Oh, a long copper box. Okay, I thought that for a minute they were buying the tomb cons, but no. And escort some interest. Okay, we can do this to reshuffle it if we want. But we're not going to do that. I don't want to burn my day off yet. Let's go to our lodgings, and can we... Oh, we never spent our news. We should have spent it at the sisters on our way back just to be able to get a new one. That's my bad. Alright, what's going on in London? We can visit the university, yada yada. Okay, let's go visit the Admiralty's office. Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of her enduring majesty nationally. We get 5 money and a fuel for our trip. That's a good pay for how close it is. Venderbright. What have the nearly dead been up to then? We get 10 echoes and a fuel. Again, a worthwhile pay for our trip. At the light boat out just outside London as well. Yes, you can. So depending on what angle you're coming home from, you can spend it on different things. Demau Island. We get 20 echoes and a fuel. Ooh, an even better pay. And our favor has increased to 3. So now something special seems to be waiting for us. Let's leave the Admiralty. Go back up the top. And what is this? The Dark Spectacled Admiral. You're ushered into his office. You're ushered into his office off the mansion's prey. A cramped room with a vast desk. He surveys you across the desk. Ah, yes. The merchant captain of whom I hear such complicated things. The Admiral will purchase intelligence from you. So we can turn in stuff to them. I don't have any more part reports to turn in, though, sadly. Do you need anything in particular, Admiral? Information. Visit a port, and will be interested in the port report. Visit a place of particular interest, and will be interested in the strategic information you gain thereby. We will pay you well. Don't worry. We understand you can't be expected to act entirely out of love for the Empire. His lip curls. What's left of it. Pyre, it means a pile of wood for burning dead body. Oh, pyre. That I've read pyre before. I should have realized that. Damn. Okay. Let's return to Wolfstack Dock. Alright, now we're back in London. What do we want to do? I don't want to put my ship in dry dock. I think we're doing fine. Cruise Wolfstack Dock. A matter of luck, pretty good chance. 80% chance of succeeding. It'll most likely reduce our terror. It'll cost 10 echoes and use our free evening. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's have a nice evening out. Good night out. She Santi's good companionship and warmth of a fire pub. You were fortunate. We've lost our terror. We've lost 30 echoes. Oh shit, that was more than I thought I was going to lose. Oh well. We gained even more recent news. Cool. And we lost our... Here, did I gain more? No, you can't. It's just another way to gain recent news. Got it. And let's visit the Unterversity. The Unterversity has an inexhaustible appetite for secrets, Z specimen, and other tidbits of esoteric lore. Provide a secret to prove yourself worthy of entry. God, we're hitting 30 minutes. Actually, you know what? I know I had said the format before. 30 minutes is long enough. We're going to... What we're going to do now is... Next time we'll visit the... I'm going to end episode here. Next time we'll visit the Unterversity and then set sail to a new destination. We'll figure out what we're doing. You know, I'm still figuring out how I'm formatting this series. We're only the third episode in. For those of you on YouTube, I hope you've been enjoying this episode of Sunless Sea. And cards will be appearing in just a moment. I love all you very, very, very much. And ta-ta for now!